Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Power Partners United training hosted by the Women of Power. I am here today joined by my lovely co-hosts, Isela Bonada, Cynthia Alvidres, and Miss Crystal Yim out in the wonderful Hawaii representing, being virtual out there for us, but still joining us for our training. So thank you all for joining us today. For the new people here, some of you that don't know, we're here every single week giving some informative training for your power business and your power platform. So we welcome everyone to come. It is hosted by Women of Power, but it is open to everyone. And yeah, we are going to jump right in. For my returning guests, thank you for returning as always. You guys know how this goes. We would like you to please share and inspire. So if you can jump on camera, that would be great. It's really great for interaction. And if you want to jump off mute or raise your electronic hand, this is the time where we share and inspire each other. We talk about any exciting and new thing that's happening in our business. It can be in our personal lives, doesn't just have to be our business. There's some examples on the screen, but you're welcome to go off that example or make up your own. So at this time, who would be interested in sharing with us?
Marisa, I'll kick us off. I had a client, and this happens all the time. And in the past, when someone would tell me that they were going to go with a competitor, I would say, okay, sometimes I wouldn't even know how to respond early in my career. And so many times now I win them back, even after they said they signed up with someone else. And so what I'd like to share about this is I reached back out to them and said, congratulations, I'm glad you're still going solar, but I'd be happy to review their contract and just make sure there's no red flags and see if it's truly a good deal. And almost 100% of the time, it's not really a better deal. It's just that the conditions are different, right? They're showing them less panels or a different finance or a lease product versus your own product. And so when I'm able to come back to the homeowner and say, hey, like these are the differences, and you'd actually end up paying more here, and they're, giving you a smaller system. And so this happens so often. And I really wanted to share that because in the past, I used to kind of just give up on those, but I would say that 20% of my deals are that, especially when we have so many competitors. So that's all for me.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that, Cynthia. I'm definitely going to put that in my tool belt because I'm the same way sometimes. I don't always follow back up when they say they're going with the competitor. So that's a good tip, right? What's the worst that can happen, right? Anyone else have a share or a win this week that they want to share with us?
I can share.
Okay, Isela.
So Anthony has been busy, building his team. So he sends off some of his new consultants to me. So I'm really excited. We helped one of his teammates, his grandparents on their second home, their property go solar. Really excited for that. And then one of my firefighters that I helped go solar finally signed documents, referred me to a captain from another fire station. So I'm looking forward to setting up some lunch and learns for the firefighters now and going in there because it's when I first started reaching out to the local fire stations, I was new, so I wasn't as confident as I am today. So I encourage all of you, whatever city you live in, this is the perfect timing for you to knock on the door, just say you're a local resident there and you're your community solar consultant in the area, and they're here to drop us some information and ask them, do you have a home? Do you have solar? Do you know anybody that's looking? So I highly recommend that. First responders are great because they all have great income and all have homes. So I just want to share that with all of you.
Nice. Yeah, sounds like a great sphere of influence with working with first responders. And I know you've done quite a few of those deals lately. I'm following you on Instagram. So of course I see your posts from the fire department. Pretty cool. Anyone else have a share? Well, before I do that, I've got a quick share that I like to share this week. So key performance indicators, KPIs. If you guys go to the Wednesday class, the master classes that we have on Wednesday, they talk about that. What should you be doing and what are those numbers? Mines are kind of tattooed in my head, 10, 5, 4, and 2. If I have 10 conversations, I'm going to get 5 bills. I'm going to present to 4 and I'm going to close 2 of those. I share that because I like to work the system, and I got a really big win. I'm a part of a BNI, and I asked my partners to go and find places for me to speak. I'm looking to get into real estate offices, boards, kind of what Cynthia just did. I got a really big win. I'll be speaking at the Arcadia Board of Realtors in April. And so for me, I'm very excited about that. That helps me with my key performance indicators. There'll be 50 plus people in the room, and I'll go and speak to them about solar and helping their clients go solar as well as them. So that's my win. I'm excited. I'm ready for it. It's a little ways off, but hey, I'll take it. Anyone else have a win? Do I see any electronic hands going?
I've got a win.
Mitch?
I was actually kind of surprised in the meeting yesterday where it was announced that I was actually on the board, and I've only been doing this for about 4 months, almost 5 now. And I had been following the stats and thought I was like 18th or 20th, but evidently, I don't know how that works. Somebody dropped off or something. So I think I closed 5 or 6 last month, and then I've got one that dragged on, and it's closing now. So, but closing all those at one time, man, it's messy, but good in the long run. Anyway, so that's my little win for last month. Anyways, I'm not sure I expect to be on the board again too soon, but that was fun.
I'm sure you'll do it again, Mitch. You did it this time. Congratulations on getting on the board. Do you mind sharing with us where you get your deals from? Do you have a main source or?
Yeah, it probably won't be very helpful. Literally every sale that I have made to date has been a friend or a friend of a friend. Maybe this will be helpful. What I did was when I started, I didn't post a bunch of stuff in my Facebook group. I generally don't post business things there, but I reached out to people who some of them I haven't talked to in ages, and then just said, oh, by the way, I'm changing careers. I'm now selling solar. If you know anybody, just think of me as the solar guy. And through that, they started coming in. And then a few of these came because my first sale posted a picture in his Facebook group, and a couple of people responded to that. And honestly, I haven't even come close to tapping that yet. So I'm looking forward to doing marketing. Marketing is what I do. That's what I did for a living for decades now. I just haven't had the time because I'm too busy selling. So
nice problem to have.
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
Thank
well,
you
my pipeline's empty now, so I got to fill it back up.
Oh, you gotta keep it going. No, but that's definitely very helpful. Thank you for sharing that. I know when I first started, I did the same approach. I called people that I knew and asked them, hey, who do you know? Think of me as your solar pro, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you get started. That's the best way to get started, because at least they're willing to have a conversation with you, even if you haven't talked to them in a while. So thank you for sharing that with the group.
Well, even I was in the post office, and I mentioned it to the lady in there because I do a lot of stuff in the post office, and I'm working with her now. I'll probably sell her this week. Next week.
Yeah, that works. I love it. I love it. Thank you for the shares, Mitch.
You bet.
And I know that was helpful to some of the others on the call. I see Kat's hand and then Anthony. Kat, why don't you share? And then Anthony, you're up next.
I think Anthony's hand was up before mine. If that matters.
Ladies first. He's a gentleman.
He's first, Kat.
Okay, very good.
First.
Well, so gosh, this is the first time I've figured out how to find this training. So I'm glad to have found that finally. I think I've been on the Powur platform for several months now, toward the end of last year. And I have now a little slow to take off and get off the ground because this is a complete career change for me. But I have now 2 formal ambassadors on my team, one of whom is a mortgage broker. And she signed up this last week. That's very exciting for me. And the documents aren't signed yet, but I'm fairly sure I've got my first system sold. So I'm very excited about that.
Congratulations, Kat. Thank you for sharing. I know you're excited, like you said, about that. Ambassadors are great. They're great to have on our team. They're free to have on our team. And I know they're going to bring you more deals. So we look forward to hearing from you next week or the week after with another success story of the closing. Anthony, you're up, my friend.
Good morning. I'm excited to be on this call. I'm always learning something new on these trainings. So my win is almost 3 years ago when I first joined Powur, I shared the ambassador program with someone that I met on Facebook through a previous company we're involved with. Then almost 2.5 years ago, this person became a consultant with with our team, not knowing anything about solar, didn't know what a kilowatt hour was, right? Through some ups and downs in her life, thankfully through the mentor program so I really want to share this because I don't know if there's new people on this call, new consultants who want to become a mentor. But almost 2.5 years ago, when I onboarded on this person who I'm about to share their name, it was just an opportunity I shared, with that person. And now this person is one of the top mentors, leading the Women of Powur with you guys here. This is Isela Bonada, who I'm talking about. So I just wanted to share that win. And it's been a journey, and I'm excited to be on this call and what all of you ladies have put together, and everyone on this call, making it happen. So yeah, that's my win. For Isela, I'm here. I'm excited to hear from you today.
That's an awesome segue. Awesome. Yes, yes. And on that note, I don't see any more hands raised. And since Anthony gave such a wonderful introduction, we are going to be hearing from the lovely Miss Isela Bonada today. She is going to be training us on Get It, Submit It, and Tag It. And guys, she's got some really great training lined up. So I hope you're paying attention. I hope you've got your notepad ready. I'm going to turn the screen over.
Can you all hear me okay? Because Marissa froze a little bit, so I don't know if it was me or if it was you. Are we good?
We can hear you. We're good.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Isela Bonada. Excited to be here on the platform. Thank you to Anthony for that wonderful, wonderful kind of sort of little introduction there. I'll share with you a little bit about my journey here with Powur, and it's been such an amazing, so great to be here with the Women of Powur. Is one of the visions that I had for Powur platform, to have a group that brought a different spark, a different light into what we do here at Powur. So I'm ready to share with you what my training today, where it's Get It, Submit It, Tag It, and just learn a little bit about me. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here to get started. Let's see. Here we go. Turn this into the slides. All right. Can everybody see my screen okay? We're good? Thumbs up? Awesome. So today we're going to talk a little bit about my journey here with Powur. And it's uh-oh, somebody has music on. Get it, back to the basics on Get It, Tag It, Submit It. We're going to go over some scripts and a live example of that and some Q&A. So just a little bit about me, as Anthony shared with me. In November 2 years ago, I started my journey here with Powur. Anthony shared it with me. This is one of the first pictures Anthony and I ever took together. He invited me to one of his installations to inspire me. I think that was in the city of Fullerton. And so 2 years ago, he approached me on the ambassador program. And with not going into too many details, I actually don't pay electricity in my home because we were part of a train derailment about 20 years ago. So Union Pacific pays the bill, I guess. So we don't even pay electricity. So he shared the ambassador program with me at that time. And then in a conversation about maybe 6 months later, I had a conversation about solar and real estate. And so I know one person that does solar. So then I reached out to Anthony, and then he introduced me the Powur platform, and then I fell in love with it. So just a little bit about me. I was born and raised in the city of Los Angeles here. I was a Catholic schoolgirl, went all my life to Catholic school, and I went to Cal State Fullerton, if there's any alums from Cal State Fullerton. And my major was actually graphic design, and I joined the family printing business. And, you were all entrepreneurs here. And so having your own manufacturing is very stressful, and it's just a very tough journey. So I decided to go off on my own, and I actually am a project manager also by career. And so I joined a company called Drybar, which is in the hair care industry. And if you go to Ulta, Sephora, you'll see That hair care brand is one of the top brands in the market, and we have about 160 salons across the country. So I started at salon number 50 and ended up like a salon like 160 when it was sold to Helen of Troy, which owns L'Oreal. So then we all got laid off, right? That's a story. And so then I thought I landed my dream job at Hearts and Science, where I was a digital project asset manager, and we helped launch HBO Max. The problem with that is I was working 12 hours, right, Saturdays and Sundays, and to launch HBO Max during COVID. And once we didn't hit our numbers, I got laid off again. So at that, it was kind of like perfect timing, where at the seed had been planted about solar. And then I reached out to Anthony and I said, I want to hear about the Powur platform. And then here I am 2 years later. So some of the things that I like to do and that keep me here, my big why are my parents here on the right. They've been married for 65 years, so I watch over them here. And then, of course, some of you that follow me on Instagram know that this is little Choco here. He's my little guardian angel that I take with me everywhere. I take him with me to visit all the fire stations. During COVID, we did about 100 fire stations. So he's definitely my little wingman, point of conversation, have a lot of fun. We love to go hiking. And then these girls here, these girls are my best friends. They're twins, okay? So I have best friends that are twins. So we have a lot of fun. We love to go to the theater. We like to go out, and so we like to, this one here, she's my wing woman because we're both single. So we're ready to mingle. So we're always out and about. We have a trip coming up to Vegas to see Katy Perry. We're excited about that. So anyway, so that's some of the side, but one of the biggest, I think, accomplishments, aside from Anthony, always basically making sure that I saw the vision, that he saw the potential in me. And that's one of the things us as a mentor here with Powur is that we guide and we teach, but we also want to highlight and let people know what we see in them, right? And so we're missing Marissa here, but we need a group picture. Was this amazing idea that I had by joining women in a group of power to share, trainings and just to share what we do here with Powur as a group of women. So that's just a little bit about me. So let's get to the training now. Here, okay. So step number 1. So again, step number 1, forget it, is this. So if you go to your Powur business plan, I think it's page number 8. What we want to do is we want to create a list. Create a list of at least 100 people, right? I would say 200 would be minimal what you want to create. They share with you it's 100, but I would go for 100. And we're going to create a Powur prospect list. What is a Powur prospect list? It is a directory of potential clients who could benefit from going solar or become a team member, right, in your Powur platform. Don't ever filter the list, right? Don't ever assume something about them because you don't know where they are in their life and their journey. You don't know anything about what's going on with them. They may not share. And it's all about timing, right? It's all about planting those seeds. So our circle of friends are the first ones that we're going to go and we're going to start writing. So our family and friends, right? So any birthday parties that you're invited to, it's not just family that's there, it's their friends, right? They're there as well. They bring their girlfriends, their boyfriends. What about their family? So we want to be able to write everybody down. Again, at work, if you're currently still, are in an office, right? Who do you run into in the elevators that don't even work in your same office as you do, right? Church, if you go to church, if you go to service, start shaking some hands, introduce yourself to other members of that church that you go to. I actually started going to another church and this one service that I was going to, I didn't even know anybody there, right? And now I'm going to a new church, met somebody, invited them to dinner, and turns out to be he's one of the top producers at EXP. And I had no idea. So, always shake hands. The more hands that you shake, the more that you get to know people and see how they can help you. Entrepreneurs, who do you know that's a real estate agent, loan officer, has a detailed car detailing business? Who mows your lawn if you have, somebody that takes care of your garden, cleans your house, when you go to the doctor's office, like when you go, how many nurses are there in the front office doing administration that, so anybody that you run into, even when you go to the car wash, start talking to people, your hobbies. What do you like to do? Do you like to go hiking? I love to go hiking. So go into Facebook groups, Instagram groups, start following any type of hobby that you like. Do you like to drink wine? Are you into cars? So let's say if you drive drive a particular car. I had no idea that people get into these little clubs of whatever car that they're driving. Go into Facebook, Instagram. So any type of hobby that you can think of. Are you a parent? That's amazing circle. I don't have kids. So now if you have kids, you know, the teachers, all the teachers that are in your school, that's an amazing network. You know, you have a teacher's discount or whatever you want to call it, you know. Start thinking of other things. So if you're the moms in your group or parents, those are great network that you can write down. Social media, you know, who are your friends on social media, right? Maybe people you may not know, you forget. Go through your list of social media and or Facebook, because the algorithms only recognize who you are constantly in contact with, right? So a lot of times those algorithms won't come up if you're not liking their picture or making comments, right? So go back to your friends. And Facebook, you can go tap A and everybody in A is going to come out and you're going to see, you know, start looking at those lists and write them down. Don't, like I said, don't filter anyone. So those are a couple of memory joggers. Like I said, it's on page, I believe, 8 of your business plan with Powur. And then, so the next thing, so after you make your list, what do you do? Okay, so if you're on social media, if you're not, you need to get on social media. But if you are either, you know, Instagram or Facebook, you need to tell everybody what you're doing. There's no sense of being a secret agent. And trust me, when you put yourself out there, you're going to see and you're going to hear, oh, I just signed a contract for going solar. Oh, I'm just putting up my solar. I just got it installed. You're going to start hearing that. But it's okay, because you have the opportunity to work and service other homeowners. So this is what I did for my social post. This was actually my second social post, because I decided that I wanted to separate my personal from my solar page, and that's up to you. So my name branding that I came up with was Solar Energy Queen, right? So that's what I branded for myself. So my Instagram is Isela at Solar Energy Queen. So this is what I did. So I said hello to all my friends and family. In November of 2020, I officially announced my career in the solar industry as a consultant with Powur. If you have ever considered in getting a solar system for your home, I'd be happy to help and check how much money you can save on your monthly electricity bill. I can give you and your family a free consultation through a Zoom call and show you all the benefits of switching to renewable energy. Here are some of the benefits of going solar. So I put 0 down, instant savings, 3% tax credit incentive, and add value to your home, new roof if needed, lower your monthly electric bill, and don't forget to ask me about the friends and family discount. I actually added a first responder discount as well, because my brother's a firefighter. So if you know anybody that's first responders are great as well. So that's what I did. If you're a veteran, put that on there as well. So anything that is in your circle of influence, make sure you put that in your, and it's amazing. I got great responses. Don't be nervous or scared about what people are going to think. Just, you gotta, you know, we all, you know, to some point we care about what people think, but you need to put that aside and be excited about what you're doing here with Powur, because as you're connected to the platform, you see that we have a mission here, and you have to be strong in what your beliefs are and what your mission here is with Powur. So that was my social post. So the next one. So now we're going to go into, what do we say after we have the list, right? How do we get the bill? So I'm going to go over what we talk about is the $1 million sentence, right? How do we get that bill? So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to look at your list. Don't be nervous. I would call. There's a lot of people that like to text, but I would say just call them. Don't second guess yourself and say, is this a good time, where it's morning, maybe they're at work, or maybe, you know, just call. And if they don't answer, say, hey, what time is a good time for me to catch up with you? That's it. But I would prefer a call. So let's assume we're going to call. And when they answer the phone, say, hey, how's it going? Say, hey, Marissa, how's it going? Did I catch you at a good time? Okay. Always positive, right? Do you have 1 or 2 minutes, right? That way, the person that's answering the phone knows that it's only going to take 1 or 2 minutes of their time, because all of us were on the go, right? So we want to make sure, hey, do you have 2 minutes? So this is how it goes. So do you have 2 or 2 minutes? Great, awesome. I just wanted to know, have you noticed that the last year, the energy prices were the highest we've ever paid? I might even add, what was your bill like in August, right? Because if you're in Southern California, this was the hottest we've ever felt ever, right? So what was your bill like in August? Did you see my recent social posts? This is why it's important for you to post before you start calling, right? Did you see my recent social post? I recently became an independent energy consultant with Powur that I'm really excited about. I am now certified with Powur to help homeowners evaluate. I have this little box here on the bottom. Hold on, sorry. I am now certified with Powur to help homeowners evaluate if solar is right for their home and could save them tens and thousands of dollars on energy costs. What are your thoughts about solar? And then just kind of listen to what they have to say. They can say positive things and they can say not so good things, and just listen to what they have to say. And if you get an objection, then you could say, wow, that is a great question, right? Every home is different. Let's see what's true for your home, because not every home is eligible. And there is no cost or obligation. Just send me your electric bill and we can get that process started. If I could show you a way to lock in your cost of energy, save tens of thousands of dollars over the next 20 years with zero out-of-pocket cost, would you be open to a free solar savings consultation? And just listen, right? Just listen. Now, if you get some objections, these are some of the things that you might hear. So how much does a system cost, right? We get that a lot. Every home is different. In order for me to confirm the cost, I will need to look at your bill to see how much electricity you are using and how much you are paying. Let me get you a solar design free, no obligation. Another objection. I heard it's really expensive. And if you qualify, you can actually receive a 30% tax credit towards the total cost of your system and get up to a 30 to 50% savings on your electricity bill. Another one you might hear is, my friend was unhappy because at the end of the year, they had to pay a lot of money to their utility company. The answer would be, most likely their solar system was not designed correctly and the consultant did not explain the solar program thoroughly. So again, these are some of the objections that you may get. So you get to say, well, just send me your bill and I would appreciate your support and I can get that solar design, no obligation. Okay, so what do we need from, once you're excited, they're going to give you the bill. What do we need from them to create a correct solar proposal? So actually, I learned this from Anthony. So this here, you can send it either text or email, either way. You can email it to them or text them, you can do both. But if you don't have their email address, you could just text this to them, which is what I call either the discovery text, email, or if you're a mentor, you can use this to call the homeowner to get some more details. So it goes something a little bit like this. Good morning or good afternoon, the client's name. Can you please send your utility bill and the following information, which will help me design a solar system for your home? So name, person on title, their phone, their email, their home address, their roof age, roof type if they know it. And if it's clay tile or concrete tile, that's a kind of important note to note before we go into a solar consultation. Do you live in a HOA community? Do you currently have a pool, jacuzzi, electric vehicle? If not, do you plan to have one in the near future? And do you have blackouts often? Another one that I might add on the electric vehicle, if they already have one, ask them, how long have they had it? So if they had it within the last year, that's great, because then their electricity bill would possibly show that they charge there. And they say, great, do you charge your vehicle at home? So that's a really good note to have. Can you please email me these two items at your email, copy of your most recent complete utility bill and a picture of the inside of your main electric box. And then just say, thank you, your name, and Powur Consultant. That just shows that you're formal, right? And you're in business and you're professional. That's exactly what it shows. So now going on to step number 2. So submit it. Okay, so for submitting, you're gonna log into your Powur. So we're excited. We've got the utility, we got the information. So now we're gonna submit it. What first thing that you do is you go into powur.com, just hit escape and it'll take you right into this login box, put in your credentials, right? And then you're gonna go over here to projects, right? On the blue, this little blue bar will pop out. You're gonna click on projects. And then up here above, you're gonna see there's some different tabs. You're gonna click on leads. And then you're gonna start submitting your lead in this information. And I'm gonna do a quick like little live on this. So you're gonna create your lead and then you're gonna qualify your lead. Okay, so that's the next thing. And then, like I said, I'm going to go over some lives and show you a little bit about, so don't forget. So the next step, once you're really excited, you're a tier 1 and you need to tag a mentor. So Choco just wants to remind you that before tagging your mentor, please text or email that mentor to ask them for their availability. Sometimes they have a calendar, and sometimes they might tell you, hey, I don't have the availability that you're going to need. I recommend these other mentors. So a lot of times us mentors will recommend another mentor that can take on and help you. So, that's what, so to remember, before you tag it, just ask your mentor or ask that mentor if they can, they can help you. Because we want to make sure, like for me, I'm very thorough with my mentees. And I get excited when they go into tier 2 and they're off on their own. So it's very important that we can dedicate that time to show you what it is to be a tier 2 and be off on your own. So, and then I'm going to show you some live examples. You're going to complete the site info, which I'll go into it, right? So the site info, what does that site info have? You're going to have your utility bill that you need to upload. You're going to put what utility company it is. You're going to put, if you don't know the kilowatt, you can just average, you could write something down before adding it. Maybe you just put 5,000 or 6,000 kilowatt, but that's another one. So you should be able to add all the kilowatts in your utility bill, put that in there. It's going to ask you your roof type. If you don't know it, you could put asphalt, but I'm going to show you some tools on how to find out what it's like that you can put right in there. It's important for you to not just guess, but try to look into the habits of looking to see what roof type your homeowner has. So that's important for your mentor to know. Again, if it's clay tile or concrete and you're not quite sure, those two factors are really important, especially if you're going into a meeting. You need to ask for a roof quote for if it's clay tile. So again, text your mentor, ask them if they're available. That I actually ask my mentee, who is this referral that you're bringing in? Is it a warm market? Who are they? And then once they say we're good, you're gonna go ahead and tag your mentor, right? And then set the appointment. And then for your appointment, make sure that both decision makers are on that appointment. So I think this is where I'm going to go ahead and show you a live what I mean by that. So once you're in your Powur back office, right, you're going to go into projects, and then the tab up here, you're going to go into leads. So here's where you would basically add your lead here, right? Put all the information, which is first, last name, email, phone number, street address, city, state. So that's really, really important. Ask them if that's the person on title. If they go, I had a perfect example. I had somebody, a captain at one of the stations, he goes by Pete. So I said, oh, is this your formal name? Right? Instead of saying legal name, you can say, is this your formal name? Do you go by Peter? And he's like, no, I actually go by Pedro. I said, okay, so now I know that because we want to make sure that the information that you're inputting is correct. Because when this shows up in the solar proposal, if they decide at that point, I'm ready to go solar, guess what? Those documents that you're going to trigger off for them to sign and get a loan application is going to be with the incorrect name. And then you have to do the process all over again. So we want to make sure everything's correct. So then here it's going to ask you what lead source it is. And then you're going to go ahead and create the lead. It's going to show here in the back office. This is not qualified yet, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the person's name. And here it's going to show you all their information, right? This is really important here. This is one of the steps that sometimes people skip, right? They skip this particular part. And it's really important because sometimes Solo will put the panels on the incorrect home. So you as a mentor, you're ready to go, everything's there, you get caught up with, you're just so busy. And then all of a sudden you're about to do the presentation or you're on the presentation. And this has happened to me and the panels are on the wrong house. So what I like to do is I actually like to have this latitude and longitude is I actually put, the person's address. And I check the longitude and latitude to make sure it's on the correct home, because you have to remember as a mentor, especially, or, if you've never been to that person's home, you don't know what their home looks like, right? You don't know exactly. So we want to make sure that you don't miss this step. So if you have the zip code, so once you do that, the latitude and longitude is supposed to come up here in the bottom. Oh, sorry about that. So I don't know what happened to that. But your latitude, longitude will come up. Let me try that again. Let me put the zip code here. And it's supposed to come up too. And then that way, once the numbers come up in the bottom, you can actually double check those numbers to, you go back here and you double check these numbers to make sure it's the right, correct home, right? A lot of times when you go here, you can tell, oh yeah, that's an asphalt roof, right? It's pretty obvious that it is. Another tool that I like to use, that I actually like to use Google Earth. I don't know, my internet's slow. So make sure you go to Google Earth, make sure you type in the address of the homeowner, right? This was the homeowner that I looked at yesterday. So for example, here, you're going to look at the type of roof that they have, go ahead and pan in and see, and if you think it's clay tile or concrete tile or something different, you can go ahead and ask them, hey, by the way, can you please ask your homeowner if their roof is clay or concrete tile, because that's what it's looking like, for me. So those are, and if you don't know that, your mentor will help guide you through that. But that's one of the things that I do as a mentor, is I go to the latitude and longitude to check if the to make sure it's on the right homes. Again, that's happened to me, and that's the last thing that I would want to do, is set up an appointment and they're on the wrong home. Another tool that I like to use is Zillow. So if it's a brand new home, right, that they don't have an electric bill, they've only been there for a couple of minutes, you can actually enter the address here, and the actual square footage will come out in the home. So this is a friend of mine, her home in Pasadena that we're doing solar for. So here it'll come out. This home happens to be an above average size home, right? This is a 5-bedroom, 7-bath home. It's 7,600 square feet. So you take the square footage here, and any type, and I want to point this out. So any type of notes that you're going to have for the homeowner, I don't want to qualify that lead, but another thing that I want to point out for your projects is to make sure you fill out the site info, right, for their mentee. A lot of times I go in as a mentor to these, let me see, I'll select this one here. A lot of times I go into some of my projects and I'm looking at it for a mentor as the first time I go in there, right? I check the latitude and longitude. If it's incorrect, you can go ahead and change that here and go into the site info, right? Here, right? Make sure you upload the utility bill. This is where you upload the utility bill. You're going to put the annual consumption, Southern California Edison, what utility company is. You can scroll down here and take a look at that. Of course, Powur is the installer. If you don't know the roof age, if they haven't answered the question, it's one of the things that I always ask during the consultation anyways. And then the type of roof that they have, standard asphalt, flat roof, concrete, clay tile. If you're not sure, just go ahead and put that in the notes that I'm going to show you. On their main service panel, ask them what that is. If they don't know, make sure they open the box. Inside there's going to be a label. Ask them to take a picture of the open box and the label, and that'll tell us. If not, we can get that during the consultation, but sometimes I'd rather have it beforehand. If it's a loan, you put here loan. If you know it's cash, go ahead and put cash. And if you don't know, loan is fine. Of course, work needed is solar. If you know it's solar plus roof, that's super, super important. Also here, I like to write in the handoff notes here, okay? So this is a referral for me from a group of, I did like through BNI. This is a BNI referral, by the way. So through BNI, I've closed 10 leads through this whole family. So here I put the roof quote for the asphalt inlay. This is I thought it was clay tile, thank goodness, it was actually concrete. So when I looked at it, I thought it was clay tile. So I actually requested for the roof quote here. So I put that notes in there. Any handoff notes, okay? Anything that you may like, for example, here, my handoff notes here are for the project managers for Powur. I said requesting IP as installation partner. I requested my installation partner Roof is concrete tile. Please double check at site survey if it's in good condition for installation. Main panel is required. So any notes that you want to put, go ahead and put them here. And then if it needs a roof, let your mentor know, and they will go ahead and request a roof quote for you, and they will show you how to do that. This is brand new, right? This is something, if the Powur design team identifies any area of optimization, the solar module layout, are you open to updating the design? I always put yes, optimize it. If I update it, that's better for the homeowner. If the Powur solar design team determines that street-facing roof services could be utilized to improve the system, would you be open to it? Absolutely. So any type of additional comments that you want to add here, go ahead and add that. Maybe there's a tree that's showing on Google Earth that's no longer there. So let them know, hey, in this roof space, that tree space is open, or whatever it may be, my notes. And as far as that's pretty much what I have to share with you in regards to tag it, submit it, and I get it, submit it, and tag it. Does anybody have any questions?
That was awesome, Isela. Thank you. So I have a question about the memory jogger that you shared in the beginning, which I thought was really cool. I know Marisa has shared that on here before. Is that in knowledge base?
It's in the Powur business plan. In the Powur business plan is a knowledge base.
Where can the people on this call get that? Because I was looking for it on knowledge base and I couldn't find it.
I will. I have it somewhere in here in either here.
That would be awesome if we could drop that in the chat. I love your objection handling too, by the way. I thought that was really good because you highlighted the objections that we always come across, which is it's too expensive, big bill at the end of the year, and a couple others. So good job. Thank you.
Yeah, if anybody has any objections, especially the one I've encountered people that say, hey, you know what, I heard that so-and-so had a $2,000, bill at the end of the year, like solar doesn't work. And that's just a great one that I always come across. It's probably because their solar consultant didn't design their system correctly. And, you still have to be careful. Like Cynthia always says, right? Be careful with still your consumption energy, keep track of your application that shows you your production of your system. If you see anything that's awkward or not, working right, we can do virtual diagnostics. So there's a lot of different ways, but keep it simple, right? Keep it super simple when you're starting off, because when you're starting off, you're not going to know all the details on how to reply to that. So just keep it really simple.
Awesome. It looks like Kat just dropped the business plan.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kat.
Thank you for that, Kat. I'll also make sure it's in the newsletter that goes out as well. But thank you. It's great that it's in the chat.
By the way, I still don't get that newsletter, I don't think.
I did want to add one thing about concrete tile versus clay tile. I did drop this in the chat, but a surefire way to make sure that you have concrete is to drop into Street View. If you see that there are nails, you'll see a pattern of little black nails sometimes in the tile. Nails cannot go through clay. So that for sure will let you know that that's a concrete tile roof. If it's a clay tile roof, a lot of times you'll see mortar. It looks like almost white glue, white cement under the tiles, and that's usually clay, not concrete. So if you see nails going through the tiles, I always like to look at the ridge line of the roof to look at those nails there. And that's how you can tell for sure, because sometimes the homeowner doesn't even know. Or you can even have them go up to the ridge line and take a photo of the edge of the roof. And if you can see that the tiles are porous instead of like flat ceramic looking, then that is for sure concrete tile. But very, very good training. Thanks, Isela.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Isela. I'm so happy that these things are recorded because that was so much valuable information. I'm sure everybody's going to look out for that recording to make sure they got all the tips that you provided. So awesome, awesome training. Thank you so much. We are just going to close out this session really quickly. Before we do so, we always want to give you guys the training to attend for the next week, the upcoming trainings, Monday through Friday. Take a screenshot of this if you would, but these are really great trainings to attend. We have our team trainings on Monday with JC, team training on Tuesday with Jonathan. Also, he has office hours, and there's an in-phase training as well. I believe they changed their time to not coincide with his office hours. On Wednesdays, we have our Breakthrough Mastermind. There's also a TPO third-party owned workshop for leases and PPAs. Those are coming more and more on demand again. And so Rachel has a workshop for those for actual current projects that you're working on. You can ask her about those. We have a California Market Development meeting on Wednesday. On Thursday, obviously, we have this class, as well as a Solar Edge training series that's right before this training class. We host office hours right after this, and then there's Power On at 5 p.m. So if you're new to the platform, please join Power On. And then on Friday, we've got some product training there with Home Run, some more office hours with Chris Brunasso's team, and then also Building with Bobby. That's every Friday training. Okay, so mark your calendars. Again, here's the Women of Powur newsletter. Barry, I got your info. I'm gonna make sure you're on it. Maybe you're not tagged. So we're gonna make sure you have the right tag on your name so you get the newsletter. I'll make sure to add the business plan in that newsletter, but it's in the chat. So if you want it right now, grab it out of the chat. And please come back next week for our training. We're going to have a really exciting training with the speaker speaking for us next week. We'll announce that on the newsletter as well, what that topic is, but come back next week for live training. And then we always like to end with a quote. So the quote for this week is, if I can move that, success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world. And that's by Roy T. Bennett. So I am going to end the recording. Thank you all for joining us this week. Hope to see you next week. We'll end the recording, but please hang around for our office hours where we can go into question and answers about power. Thank you for taking the time to watch the Women of Powur training series. I hope that you got some great value out of that video, and there's much, much more where that came from. Listen, if you'd like to join Power or find out more about this awesome and amazing platform, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the description. I look forward to connecting with you real soon. Have a great day.